Hello and welcome back to episode 4 of the Retro Wonderkids. And yeah, so today I've just been editing rather, and I'm trying to upload episode 2 and 3. I think it was episode 2 that was embarrassingly, the audio just cut off midway through for some reason. I have no idea why. Mic didn't come unplugged, it's the same setup. I went straight on to record the next one. Worked fine. I have no idea what changed or what happened. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. It's never happened again with any other recording, so I'm literally clueless. So I hope it didn't work. The next one was completely fine, went all the way through, no problems, back to normal as we normally do. So hopefully same again here. So join us today in 2027, and the Wonderkids, the icons if you like from FIFA terminology, are now 25 years old. So we saw the last episode, a lot of them really sort of blossoming and having their first real good seasons at 21 years of age. So these 4 years rather, should be really making and breaking their careers. We're going to see the real standout breakout ones here, who are rattling off goals, performances, assists, average ratings for their club and for countries now. Transfers possibly taking place to not even bigger clubs, because a lot of them are big clubs already, but just big transfers between big clubs, that sort of stuff. So we should be seeing some transfer fees really just flying out the water here. So let's jump into the shortlist. What is happening exactly? So number 1 is Romario. I think he was last year. He's been retrained as an attacking midfielder by the looks of it. I'm not too sure why. He's got 59 caps, 33 goals, 104 million value and 360 grand a week wages. I mean, yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he? A lot of 20, well, not a lot of 20s, but a lot of 18s, 17s, 19s floating around here. I mean, particularly work rate 16, but technique, finishing, first touch, anticipation, composure, pace, natural fit, all these good things for a striker. He's got it all. And so where did we finish? It was 2023 we finished last year, which was here, last episode. So he's gone on to then have 17 goals in 21 appearances, 22 in 25, 24 in 26 and 28 in 25. This season the standout of his career by far. I mean, actually I say by far, 2021 was pretty good with 25 and 26, but he's gone goals above games now, 9 assists in there as well, 8.27 average rating. And I'd be amazed if PSG haven't actually won the Champions League a couple of times in here. Did we look at that in the last episode? I think we did. So we'll go back and look at that in a minute, but on to the next one. Number 2 is Gerd Müller at Arsenal, who didn't even start as a wonder kid. Looked like he was going to really sort of fall away, not be very good. He's now the second best rated. He's got 41 goals in 44 appearances for Germany. He's worth £91 million and he's on 250 grand a week at Arsenal. Still at Arsenal. To say I didn't see this one coming is an understatement. Obviously I don't look at these videos before I play them. I say that every time, just have to get it out there. Arsenal still winning FA Cups by the looks of it. Still a favourable tournament. So yeah, 2023 was where we finished. He had an okay season. It's pretty much it's his second season at Arsenal, as in like in the first team. He broke through other clubs on loan, and then he played 10 goals in 27 in 23-24, 5 assists, 4 opponent matches. He's on the increase. He then got 24 in 37. A little bit of a dip again, 17 in 36, possibly an injury hit season there. He played all the games, so maybe not. But then the season just gone, 24 in 31, 15 playing matches, 6 assists, 8.08 average. By far and away, yeah. Well, he got the same amount of goals as his best ever season, with more assists, I think. Yeah, he got no assists that season. More player matches and less games to do it in. He did play some appearances, so yeah. He's also been trained as an attacking midfielder, but be very surprised if he's not playing right through the middle up top for this Arsenal team. A very different kind of player to what we've been used to. He's only 5'11", I expect him to be maybe a bit taller than that. Yeah, Gerd Müller number 2. And number 3 is Franz Beckenbauer. Still at Man City. I think he left Newcastle to join Man City and he's been there ever since. He's now got 12 goals in 72, so he started adding a few goals to his game now. £89 million value and £500,000 a week on his salary. That is absolutely crazy. He started at Newcastle, yeah he did, went for 50 million, and then he's picked up, yeah, he's not getting a lot of goals, but he gets the same kind of amount of goals every season. He's very consistent. 5 goals, 1 assist. The assists dropped this season, very surprising. A lot less games as well, perhaps a bit of an injury curtailing that season a little bit. Still good average rating, still good goal return, just the assists maybe lacking. But then he came back with 6 goals, 14 assists, 7.37, 34 appearances, 5 goals, 14 assists again. He's an assist machine. This is the original Mesut Ozil, the assist maker, Mr. How Can I Help You? This is the original. This is the OG at Mesut Ozil. Then he had his best goal scoring return, I think, or equal to his best goal scoring. In fact, it's pretty much equal to this season here. 9 and 13 in terms of assists. Player of the matches was 1 more, and the average rating was a lot more as well. But you'd expect that, you know, at this sort of stage of his career, starting to get a bit more composure, a bit more consistency, that sort of thing. But he's 8% of the club's wage bill on £500,000 a week. That is absolutely insane. But I mean, is he worth it? Well, absolutely. He's a leader. He's a world-class midfielder. Says gets forward wherever possible. The goals maybe don't quite determine that, but and they've got Bobby Moore. Did they sign him in the last season? Maybe they did. We've then got Diego Maradona. He's now at Chelsea. He didn't. I think he was still at Brighton last episode. He's now capped for Argentina. Well, he's not. He was capped already, but he's now got 24 goals in 41 games, and £88 million, 325 grand a week. He's there till 2031. So what's that? Another 4 years. So that finishes just before the end of the next episode. So yeah, he did move straight after the end of the last season. He went for 42.5 million to Chelsea. 22 and 32 in his first season with 3 assists, 10 player matches. Yeah, he bucked his not bucked his ideas up, but you can tell he's got a bit more quality around him, and it brings his quality out a bit more. Obviously, in Brighton he was a big fish in a small pond. Now at Chelsea he's a big fish in a bigger pond, I guess is the best way of saying it. He then followed it up with 14 goals in 36. A bit of a dip in numbers, but not his average rate. His average rating did dip, but I mean it dipped from a very high position. Keep that going every season would be very difficult. A real dip this season in terms of games played, only 28 with 1 appearance, only 7 goals, got 9 assists though to sort of make up for it. And then this season just gone 36 games, 21 goals and 11 assists. Best assist return, only 1 off his best goal return. So yeah, things picking up for Maradona now in London. Still in England, but now in London rather than the South Coast. And I'd be amazed if I wouldn't be amazed if he stays there. We could well see that, and see out his career in Chelsea, or certainly to the latter stages anyway. Stanley Matthews is at Manchester United, and I think he was at West Ham still end of last season. Last episode rather. He's now got 34 goals in 67 games for Manchester United, £88 million value and 300 grand a week he is currently on. He had already signed for Man United at this point, so ignore that. The season after we left you last time was 19 goals and 38 games. He played every game, 1 appearance actually, so didn't quite play every game. 8 assists, 4 player matches and 7.68 average rating. He then improved the next season, less games, same amount of goals, 1 less assist, same player matches but a higher average rating. Then a slight dip overall. He still got 13 goals. I mean, that's not a dip really, but in less games, 5 assists and 5 player matches, a little bit of a dip in average rating, and then 15 goals again in 30 games and 4 assists. Just very consistent again, a very consistent player for Manchester United. I mean, it'd be interesting to see who's winning the Premier League every year, because a lot of these are playing for Chelsea, Man United, Man City at the moment, and only one of them obviously can win the title every year. So interesting to see who is actually got, if there's any kind of dominance starting to show. We've then got Bobby Charlton, still at Man City. He left. Oh no, he's at Man City. He wasn't last time. I'm pretty sure he's transferred. So he's got 70 caps for England, 18 goals. I expect that to be a bit high considering until Wayne Rooney, I think. Until Wayne Rooney, he was England's all-time top goal scorer. A record held for like what, 40, 50 years or something, maybe longer. About 50 years I think it was. So 80 million, 300 grand a week. He was at PSG, I'm fairly sure. No, he's had 2 transfers since we were, oh wow, £131 million. Okay, so we left here. He joined Southampton from Crystal Palace. So they reinvested a lot. Southampton reinvested a lot of money. They sold 2 or 3 big names, 2 I think, and then used that money. We thought quite wastingly, but they bought Bobby Charlton. But it turns out not to be. They doubled their money on him. They had a good couple of seasons out of him. Also, they had a good couple of seasons in the league as well, I seem to recall. I think they had that 1 dip, maybe. But then, 10 goals, 7 assists, and 5 player matches with 7.34 average. His best return in his last season. Before that, sealed him a £96 million move to France with PSG, where he was only there for 2 years. 6 games in the first season, so I don't know whether he joined in. Did he join? No, he just didn't play very much. I don't know why. No real clue to that. And very baffling. They spend that sort of much money, nearly £100 million on playing, and don't really play him. Not sure if he picked up a bad injury. Let's have a look. Actually, we'll look at that in a minute. Then his second season, 17 games, but not a lot again, still really. And 2 goals, 3 assists. Good average ratings, but not really getting the goals and the assists you'd expect. But that was enough to get him £131 million moved to Manchester City. And the season just gone, I think, not quite his best return, but certainly up there. 9 goals, 9 assists, 3 per matches, and a 7.45 average rating. So we're looking from about 2024 for any serious injuries. If that's what struck him. Okay. So he had damage. Yeah, he was out for a while. 8 months with damaged cruciate ligaments, then another 3 months with a hip injury. Kind of worked his way back ever so slightly, and he actually did the cruciate in an England match, and then a training in the hip injury. Yeah, impact from fall. Really not a good couple of injuries. Pretty, within a year of each other. Yeah, so that's really curtailed him back a bit. But he's back now. He's had a couple of days here and there, but nothing serious. So hopefully that's behind him, and he can kick on a little bit. Georgie Best is still at Tottenham. He is wanted, and I think he was last time as well. He's wanted by PSG. He's now valued at £85 million, 245 grand a week. He's got 32 in 65 for Northern Ireland. So getting the goals for Northern Ireland now, which maybe before we didn't really notice so much. It wasn't really doing the job, but he is now. Where do we put? So 2023 where he left, wasn't it? Yes, this season here, 14 goals, 38 where we left him. Then came back with 21 and 38. He played every game, 1 sub appearance, 4 assists, 5 player matches, and a 7.60 rating. Very much his best season to date. He then followed that up with a good season, but by that previous season standards, not quite up to it. 13 goals, 8 assists, and 5 player matches. He then on the increase a little bit, less games, but 16 goals, 3 assists, 4 player matches, and then again 13 goals and 37, 9 assists, 8 player matches, and his best average rating I think this season. Yes, it is. So yeah, in all, George Best starting to pick up now as well. Still at Tottenham. I'd be amazed if that's where he sticks. I'm expecting a Real Madrid or a Manchester United transfer to be imminent. We see 3 Man United players on the bounce next now. Ferenc Puskás is the first one. He's got 68 and 63 for Hungary, which, bearing in mind Hungary aren't that good a team in the game or in general, is amazing. He could be getting them against a lot of low teams in like the International League and stuff like that, but he's still got to do it, and he's still been playing decent teams in there, I'm sure, in and around. But he's on 300 grand a week, valued at £85 million, and I think this is another guy who's made a couple of transfers. So he started at Southampton, they sold him to Real Madrid for £82 million. He had a good couple of years there. Last season, last episode was 25 and 23. He followed that up with another very good season, 21 and 23. Not playing every game of the season, bizarrely. Maybe they're resting him for the Champions League and resting him here and there. Real Madrid, they have players, I'm sure. 7 assists and 6 player matches. But then he got a transfer to Man United for £94 million, and his season just not quite into overdrive. He's had better seasons, but an improvement certainly. You could look at his average rating. His average rating certainly kicked in. 22 goals in 36, 10 assists, and 18 player matches. 18 player matches. Half of his games he got man of the match. That's absolutely ridiculous. 8.19. Then he followed that with 17 and 30 season. 5 assists, 12 player matches, and 8.13, and then 20 and 35, 10 assists. So responsible for 35 goals, roughly, in 2 seasons there, and 15 player matches, 8.11. He's looking very good, and I think after those big transfers, we might see him settle down and see him probably there for the a good chunk of his career now. And yeah, we come to the last episode, or the last episodes. Ballon d'Ors and all that are going to be very, very interesting. So the first part, which I think is a bit of a Dutch connection at Manchester United, is Ruud Gullit. £85 million, 300 grand a week. Just these couple of players alone, the wage they must be paying just on these couple of players. 57 goals and 53. Is that 53 or 83? 83 appearances for Holland. Very good player, playing the attacking midfielder role, but can play up front. Probably more playing up front with the numbers we're seeing, certainly for Holland anyway. He is 2023 here, so the first season of this part of this episode is 22 and 36, 12 assists, 7.97 average. I think that's his best season. The assists tip it over, and the average rating tip it over this one here. He's at Southampton still. Then got 12, bit of a dip, 12 and 34, 10 assists, and only one player a match. So yeah, real dip there for Manchester United before getting 18 and 38, 9 assists and 4 player matches. I don't know whether that's affected by Puskás coming in around this time. Maybe might have a bit of a say in it, but then he bounced back. It was very consistent. 17 goals in 36, 7 assists, 3 player matches, and a 7.61 average rating. Overall, very good average rating, good goal returns. Yeah, so this is the episode now. I guess chuck a few bets in down in the comments below. Who do you think is going to end out overall goal scorer of these players? We might have to do a little bit of creative dip in between save points, because the last couple we might see a few retirements and stuff. We don't know when players are going to retire. So, but yeah, drop it down below. Let me know what you think. The final Manchester United Dutch player, well, not final, but certainly at this little juncture that we're at 3 in a row in terms of value and stuff, is Johan Cruyff. He's got 38 and 71 goals for Holland, £85 million. A lot of £85 million rated players. They're all kind of around the same amount now, and 300 grand a week. Still no one's come close to the, who was it? Was it Beckenbauer? The £500,000 a week, £500,000 a week salary. I mean, 300 is pretty decent. Taxman in England will absolutely slaughter a lot of that though. 2023, so we finished here. Not the best season for him, but he bounced back. 14 and 34, 16 assists and 5 player matches. And then a little bit of a dip again. He kind of has a good season and off season. 26, I mean, a bit of injury maybe here in this season. Only 26 games, 24 starts, 8 goals, 10 assists and 7.8 I mean, when we're saying those numbers are a bad season, that says it all really, doesn't it? Then we've got 37 appearances, 13 goals and 10 assists before the 4 player matches at 7.67. So yeah, a bit of a dip again. Actually, no, a bit of an increase on the last season, but he's a bit of a funny one. He's not very consistent. He's getting good numbers, but not consistently. He's either getting the assists or getting the goals pretty much. It's a bit of a strange one. And then the season just gone, 9 goals, 30 appearances, 12 assists and 3 player matches with a 7.75 average rating. So now we've got, looks like at least a trio of Man City players here. So again, God knows the salaries they're paying out on just these players alone. Don't know if they can afford to actually have a team to play around them, and they just have the couple of, well, a bit like a Galacticos, no defence, just the good players all in the attacking positions. But Eusebio, he's at Manchester City. I'm pretty sure he started there. Yes, he did. 62 goals in 71 appearances for Portugal. 25 years old now. £85 million. 325 grand a week. He's there for another, 2031. So all kind of around that same sort of time. We left him here. He then picked it up with a 35 game season with 19 goals, 8 assists and 3 player matches. 13 and 33. 12 and 32 and 19 and 35. So he's about to get his 100th goal in the next season in 250 games, or around 250 games ish. 58 assists in total and a 7.43 overall. Very consistent overall. Had a little bit of a slow start, I guess, but being such a strong team to start with at the start of that game, he's got Kevin De Bruyne there, Fernandinho, trying to list other players, Mahrez. There's a lot of players there, for a 16-year-old to be competing against, as good as he was. There was a lot there, a lot of competition, but obviously he's worked his way in, and he's now, after 2 years, he's a main starter, a regular, key feature in this team. We've then got Hristo Stoichkov. He has got 44 in 61 for Bulgaria, £85 million again, and 250 grand a week. So slightly lower salary than some of the others we've been seeing. Still a lot of money. I'd happily take 250 grand a week, no problem. And he's been, the first season after the last save, the last episode, a bit of a blip. Not a blip actually, it was his best season, but 25, 11 goals. But he's really then sort of come into his own the last couple of years. 22 and 33 with 12 assists, 806 average, by far his best season. Up to that point, did pretty well the next season, 20 and 35, less assists, same player matches and a slightly lower average rating, but still very good. And 13 and 33 in the season just gone, so a little bit of a downer again, less assists, less player matches. But that could be because there's a few players competing. So you know, we've seen someone down below. There's at least one more striker that Man City have got. So he's got 104 goals though in 238. Still pretty good. What we might do, I might create a squad view actually at some point and rank them in that order: career goals and appearances, that sort of thing. So we can have a little bit of an easier look at the end of the episode and see, give you an idea. So when you want to put your comments down below, who you think's going to be, you've actually got a bit of a gauge rather than having to try and remember sort of 24 players and what they're doing. And we can look at that as we go through actually further down the line. So yeah, as I mentioned, we've got another striker. It's Alfredo Di Stefano. He's again worth £85 million. He's on 375 a week, and he's got 45 in 58. Is that, I think, caps for Argentina? Still 24. This guy, he turns 25 in about a month's time. And how's he doing? So he's just had, I think, his best season to date when we left the last episode. We came back. He's kind of not too bad. He's not quite as good. He's got more assists, a few less goals, and one more game. But a little bit of a jump in his average rating as well. And then we came back 34, 16 goals, 5 assists, so a little bit of a dip again. But then the last 2 seasons, just phenomenal. 24 in 37, playing nearly every game. 8 assists in there as well, 9 pen matches, and the season just gone 26 goals in 36. Yeah, probably I'm going to guess go out on a limb and say top goal scorer, but then in this world you never know, because there's so many good players. There could be someone quite easily chilling on 40 goals. No problem. If Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo can do it, why can't some of these other guys that we've got, you know, featuring in this save at the moment? And he has moved to one of his real-time clubs, R9 Ronaldo. He's at Real Madrid. He left Fulham to go to Roma, and then obviously he's gone on to Real Madrid. He's only got 17 goals, only 22 caps for Brazil at 24 years old. God knows how many he had by that time in real life. And he had a couple of, I think he had at least one serious knee injury in that time as well. So yeah, strange one. And again, they've got a lot of players to compete in up there. Romario is the best player in the world at the moment by far, so that kind of explains a little bit of that. But he's on 225 grand a week. He's there for another 2 years actually at the moment, and not got the longest deal. He's obviously on a 5-year deal, I think. So we left him here, 22 in 21 for Roma, very good season. He then got 15 in 19, not the most amount of goals, but games, but a good goal return nonetheless. And then got his £76 million move to Real Madrid. That's the other thing as well. Another comment to chuck in below: who's going to have the most cumulative transfer fees? I'll try and whack a note in on my notes here somewhere in a minute. So cumulative transfer fees, and also goals and appearances, that sort of stuff. So we'll try and create a squad view for that, so we can have a look at it down the line. Michel Platini is the next one. He's just recovering from a broken foot, so I don't know if that's been a long-term injury or not. I mean, how many games did he play? He played 32, so maybe not so much. £85 million value. The closest we've got to, who's it? Beckenbauer. 500 grand a week here from Platini. He's an elite attacking midfielder. He's not a world-class attacking midfielder. I mean, elite is still pretty good. He's got 39 goals and 76 from midfield, centre midfield. Great goal return. He's the opposite to Beckenbauer a little bit. If they could get them two in one team, that would be the ultimate sort of centre midfield coupling and duo, I guess. One that likes to bomb on, get goals, and one that likes to just sit in and create them. I mean, if Man City can get Platini or Chelsea can get Beckenbauer, they're laughing. They are absolutely laughing. And he's been at Chelsea his whole career, so chances of him moving now, I'm not too sure. Probably one of his favourite clubs. He has got 19 at the start of this episode and 38 with 11 assists. And playing every game. I think he played every game here as well with no subs. Yeah, every game. 11 with 7 assists. Missed out this season, dropped 2 games, but got 9 goals, 13 assists. Best assist return by far. Well, by 2 goals, but not by far, but pretty good. And then he got, this season just gone 32 appearances, 15 goals, 7 assists, 7.60 average rating. Not a bad return from Mr. Platini. We know he likes his nice returns, don't we? Allegedly. So Ronaldinho is at Barcelona. I think when we left he was at Sporting Lisbon still, but he was wanted by Barcelona. He's got his move. 19 goals in 41 caps for Brazil. 375 grand a week and £85 million value. I mean, it's Ronaldinho. Yeah, what can you say? It's Ronaldinho. He's very far down than what I expected. So yeah, we left him here got to the next season, didn't make an appearance for Sporting before he got his £48.5 million move to Barcelona. He got 16 goals in 21 in his first season, not bad for an attacking midfielder basically. 6 assists, 2 player of the matches. Then not his best return, but pretty good. 15 goals in 26 games, 5 assists, 4 player of the matches, an 803 average rating before then getting 5 and 15. So a bit of a dip this season, a bit of a lull. 4 assists. Again, when we say a dip and a lull, it's not. It's fantastic, but it's just the standards these guys are setting for themselves. It is a bad season, and other players are doing much more than that. Then final season just gone. 22 appearances, 13 goals, 13 assists, 8.19 average rating. So Ronaldinho coming into form, a bit like Ronaldo. He's at the club you expect to see Ronaldinho playing for. It's worked out very nicely. And the English Roberto Baggio is at Arsenal. He has got 61 in 82 for England. Well, I think that makes him England's top goal scorer, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it does, or if not, he's certainly going to be run into this because he's only 25 years of age. It's a shame I didn't put him as Italy. That would have been... Yeah, but it gives England a chance to win in the tournament now, I suppose. So he's been at Arsenal a while. I think he might have been there just at the end of last episode, but we'll see in a minute. He's worth £85 million. I think they're all worth £85 million it seems at the moment. 275 grand a week, key player. So we left him here. Yeah, he was at Arsenal already. £70 million he moved for. He then went to get 14 goals. Very consistent. 14. Very good season in 25-26, getting 24 goals. By far and away his best season. Probably less games as well. Only 4 assists, but 10 player matches. And he got 15 and 34. Season just gone with 7.66. He's coming on very nicely. Again, looks like he's been trained as a winger, taking field left, taking field right centre, but he is a free middle main threat striker. That's what he's doing. He's up there with Bird Muller at the moment, assuming Arsenal playing 2 up front, not shifting one of these out to the wing. If they're shifting one of these out to the wing, the stats are even more impressive, I guess. I guess that could be the fact that he's playing down the middle here, but maybe got chucked out on the wings here, so maybe less goals. Still a lot of goals from the wing, but that could be a factor maybe. And Marco van Basten is at Liverpool. Pretty sure he wasn't when we left it last episode. He's doing very well. £85 million. I'm going to stop doing the values because they're all worth 85. If they're worth less, then we'll mention something. But he's on 215 grand a week. We're starting to slip down to the lower players now, but he's still got 34 and 61 for Holland. He's still a very, very good, fantastic player. And I think we left him at Napoli last time. Yes, we did. He moved to Napoli. Had 2 seasons there after his £39 million move. He had one more, getting 18 in 21. Very good fit. Very good season for Napoli. Not many assists, but then he got his £94 million move to Liverpool. Dream move to Liverpool. I assume it's his dream move. I don't know. Does he support Liverpool? He might be a Man United supporter for all I know. He might be an Everton supporter for all I know. We know he likes Ajax, obviously, but 13 goals in 32 for his first season at Liverpool. 3 assists and 3 player matches. He then got 17 in 33 and 11 in 30. So again, very good numbers, but for £94 million, maybe not quite good enough. This season was good, but the other two seasons, not the best. They'd be wanting a bit more for their money, I'm sure, with that. Again, trained as a winger, attacking midfielder. Not sure if he's playing out there, perhaps. Interesting to see. Another Manchester United one is Lothar Matthäus. He's got 9 goals in 66. I mean, if you could get a 4-3-3 playing and put Matthäus in there with Beckenbauer and Platini, that would be the dream midfield. This guy is the one who's not getting quite as many goals, I don't think. 9 in 66 isn't bad for the national team. £81 million value, so we have dropped a little bit now. 275 grand a week. Signed from Watford. When did that happen? It's happened already, so we knew about it. We left him here. He's very consistent with his goals now. Since this last season, the last episode, he got 5. He's then rated off 5, 4, 6 and 5. 10 assists in the season just gone, so a big push in that regard. 7.42 average rating, I think that's his best. Yes, it is. By quite some way. The goals ticked over the last couple of seasons. The assists are... I mean, the 18 in 2 seasons, that's very good. Before that, very sort of around the 3-4s mark with one sort of season in the middle of 7. So yeah, he's coming along very nicely as well. Quite a good team Man United starting to form there. We'll have a look at maybe some of the teams that are heavily featured after this. Kenny Dalglish finds himself at Leicester. I mean, he started at Leicester, didn't he, I think? Yeah, he did. He's still there. He's now owned by Arsenal and Real Madrid, so they might have to pay £98 million to get him, but he could be on the move. I mean, he's very good. Don't get me wrong, I doubt Leicester have won a title in the time he's been there. Unlike the team of 2000 and was it 15? I think it was 15. 16 maybe. 79 caps, 63 goals for him at Scotland international level, and he's surprisingly still at Leicester with those numbers. 24, 25, 25, 22. He's doing very well. I mean, he's probably in his favour is the fact that he's the main man at his team. He can probably pretty much play every game, not get hauled off, that sort of stuff, and know he's going to have a good chance of getting some goals. Even if the support network around him maybe isn't the best as some of the other teams, he's just there all the time. So that could be a factor in this. So he could be a contender for the top goal scorer come the end of it. And we're looking at, when I say when we look at number of goals, it's both internationally and club based. I don't think we can look at overall or separate them. We'll have a look at when we do the squad views. But yeah, so Kenny Dalglish in with a shout for sure. We've got Bobby Moore at Man City as well, so the best defender in the game, I think, or there's two of them, is at Manchester City. He's worth 300 grand a week. He's on £65 million value, so maybe not hitting quite the heights. Maybe that's because he's a defender, I'm not too sure. Maybe that's why we're seeing him and at least one or two others down here as well. He's got 2 goals in 83 caps for England. Still looks very good. A few of the technicals are a little bit off where they need to be, but to be fair, the ones he needs are there: heading, marking, tackling. Passing could do a little bit better maybe in technique, but what he needs is there. The mentals are very good, the physicals are very good as well, and I'd be amazed if he hasn't been very consistent. He has been very consistent. 2 goals, 3 goals, not really counting the goals for him, but have a look at it while we're here. A couple of assists actually for him as well, possibly from corners, knocking them back. We see Poe do it quite regularly for Michael Shorten, so playlist down below, more than likely, if you've not tuned into that. Shameless plug. It's not his best season just gone, but like more amount of games, he could have a bit of a bearing on it. First time he's come close to finishing the whole season. Really got 36 here, I suppose, but 35. He got a straight 37. He missed one game all season with that one. So yeah, probably more coming along very nicely, and Man City coming along very nicely, in fact. Paolo Maldini has left Wolves. He's at Paris Saint-Germain. He's wanted. He's wanted by Man City. So they could have probably more and Paolo Maldini come the next episode. That is absolutely insane. He's got 4 goals in 83 caps for Italy. He is at Italy, not in England. Not in English nationality, luckily. £60 million value, 200 grand a week. Key player, not surprised. So we left him here. He had one more season at Wolves. He scored a couple of goals to this point, a couple of assists, but he only played 20 games, so I can only assume the fact that he only played 9 for PSG as well. He went in the January, but he went for 90 million, absolutely insane. Played 9 games, 7.76 average rating. I thought he was going in January to play a few more games than that, but come next season, 25 games, much more established. I think the French season is shorter, less games, because we don't see a lot of them in PSG playing more than sort of 25, 26 games. So maybe that's something to think about, or maybe they just do rotate, rest. It's always PSG, there's no one else in. I don't think we've seen anyone at Monaco or anything like that. It's always PSG. So we don't know, they maybe have a few more to rotate and rest in certain games. He then got 7.95 average rating in the season before last, 2 goals. Got 4 goals the season just gone, 23 appearances, 5 assists as well. Presumably playing left back in this game, 7.71. That's all I can think maybe is what's happening. He's being played at left back. It looks like it. He's an elite centre back, but he can play left back equally adept. So maybe that's what's happening. He's just recovering from a broken lower leg, 2 to 4 months. That's very gutting there as well. Now the best goalkeeper in the game is much more lower down in value, but again perhaps it's to do with the position on the field. 84 caps. I'm waiting for that to show 1 goal or something. That would just be phenomenal. He's worth £60 million. He's on 215 grand a week, and he's there for another 3 years. He's been at Tottenham for a while now, since he moved from Huddersfield, and he was getting more clean sheets than goals in games before, or less goals conceded in games before. So he is pretty much carried that on. 28-32, 40-38. So that's the first season I think he went over, isn't it? I think it is. He levelled once or twice. 40-38 there, 30-36, and 27-25. So went a little bit over again. But considering he's in a team that I presume aren't winning trophy after trophy, he's doing very, very well, and I'd be amazed again, a bit like George Best, if he's not at a Real Madrid or Man United in the very near future. Man United possibly still have the tail end of David De Gea. I doubt it, but possibly. 2027? Probably not actually, but Lev Yashin looking like to be, the best goalkeeper in the game, I'm sure, by a country mile. And in a twist of fate I never saw coming, the player who was the most valuable at the start of the episode, the start of the series, in episode 1, Pele, is down the bottom. He's only worth £25.5 million. He's got 51 in 80 caps for Brazil though, so I'm not sure where this value is coming from. I don't think it's because he's... his contract. Look at his contract, it runs out in a month's time. So I don't know whether he'll be at Barcelona come next episode. I imagine they got to sign him down. Assuming he wants to, he's on a minimum fee release scores of 227. Of course in Spain, you have that. Is he happy? Sending his previous worth to the team, 2 positives, no negatives. I think he would sign if they offer him it. They just haven't offered him it yet, so we might see Pele possibly go on a free somewhere. That would be very, very surprising if they let that happen. I mean, they're winning a lot by the looks of it. Let's see how he's done. So, kept up his scoring ratio. It's literally that contract that's put him down that far. That's something I didn't think about when I was looking at the order of those players. Actually, some of them have got longer contracts. That impacts the value as well, of course. 24 appearances, 17 goals, 5 assists. But then, this season here, 24 in 25, 15 assists, 8.20 average rating. Best season, comes close to this one, but it is better. 23 and 17 with 11 assists in the season the season before, and the season just gone 19 and 22. Great. I mean, so far, 156. I haven't been keeping count. I think I saw Dalglish on 1-4 something. So far, out of the ones I've noticed, Pele is leading that, 58 assists as well. Very good season for him. So let's see if I can. That is the last player. So what I'll do, I'm just going to hop away for a second and try and get up the squad view set up. So I have created the view. Anyone can tell me how to save that so it appears on every shortcut list I create. That'd be absolutely incredible. Otherwise I'm going to have to create it every time, I think, but it doesn't matter too much. So we're going to sort them. So we've got caps, goals, all-time appearances, all-time goals, all-time league appearances, all-time league goals. I couldn't find one that's equivalent for goalkeepers and clean sheets or conceded, so I'm not sure if that will show further down below. But we'll go for international caps. So the most capped player so far is Lev Yashin, closely followed by Ruud Gullit and Bobby Moore and Paolo Maldini, but Baggio's not far behind. So a lot of them on the 80s, but who's down the bottom? It's 22 Ronaldo, R9. Very surprising. That I wouldn't have called that at the start of the episode, the start of the series. Goals, there's nothing there, so we're not going to be able to see sort of all-time conceded, unfortunately. All-time international goals, it's Puskás up the top, Dalglish just behind, and Eusebio. Baggio's not far behind either. Then we start to see a bit of fall away of Gullit, Pele, and the like. Down the bottom, obviously, is going to be Lev Yashin, but Bobby Moore as well, Paolo Maldini, Mateus, So we're starting to get into the midfielders, and you start to see the strikers taking over, that sort of thing. Bobby Charlton is above R9 though, but only just. We've then got all-time appearances. So far, we've got George Best is the all-time appearance maker, 446, just ahead of Lev Yashin. You'd expect a goalkeeper probably to go for longer and, make more appearances, I guess, because a number one is generally stuck to. But the two Tottenham players are the all-time appearance makers, which is incredible. Platini in third, and then a bit of we start to see a bit of a fall away, I guess. All-time goals. career goals, that is. Roberto Baggio is top. We've got Ruud Gullit just behind, Pele, Romario, Di Stefano. Yeah, and then a bit of a tail away, a bit of a fall away again there. And then we've got all-time league appearances. We've got Lev Yashin, again unsurprisingly. Baggio's there, bit of a fall away again. And then all-time league goals is Romario at the top. So, and Pele. See if he can get those 1,000 goals that he mooted in his career in real life that he scored. At the moment, it doesn't look like he's going to get anywhere close to 1,000. Good couple of hundred, I'm sure. Especially if he starts picking up, gets signed up for Barcelona again or someone else, and just sort of starts rattling him in again. But yeah, so that's pretty much where we're going to leave today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, please do drop a like down below. Please do drop a sub if you're new to the channel as well. Hit that notification bell. These videos are going to be coming out every day, hopefully 7 days worth, depending on how the saving of the autosave, whether it did me in again. Yeah, like I mentioned in the comments, so who do you think is going to be the most Ballon d'Ors, that sort of thing. We'll go from a little bit of a scriptless list. Yeah, so who's going to get the most Ballon d'Ors? Who's going to be the biggest transfer? What do you reckon will be the biggest transfer fee paid? We're not going to look at that just yet. We'll keep that to the last episode. And who do you reckon will be the most cap player? How many caps are we looking at? Same with international goals. And then all-time appearances and goals, and all-time league appearances and league goals. Who's going to be sitting in those, do you think? Who are you looking out for? Who's your favourite player in this list? Who would you have maybe added in that I've missed out? Bearing in mind that I didn't add in players who are sort of in the game already, so like Thierry Henry misses out because he's a manager. Things like that. Ryan Giggs the same. So we tried to keep as many of those out of it as possible. I didn't want to go too big as well. I could have easily rattled off 100 players very, very easily and made this an almost impossible challenge, like a 2-hour long video each time. But yeah, until next time, we'll be coming back for episode 5. It's going to be another 5 years, 2032, and they're all going to be 29 to 30 years old. So until next time, I'll see you later. Take care.